Good morning, dear learners. This is Dr. Pradeep Kumar Asthana, Assistant Professor, IMC SRMU. In this lecture, we will talk about personal financial management. In this, we will discuss about what is personal financial management, what are the elements of personal financial management. We will also see the benefits of personal financial management, and we will also go through the need of personal financial management and few things which are misunderstood by the personal financial management we will discuss in this lecture. So let's start about personal financial management. The big question comes here that why should we think about the personal financial management? We have to think about the personal financial management because if we are not planning our money, which is a scarce resources, then we cannot complete all the tasks, we cannot satisfy the life of ours as well as the family members which they want. So the money should be used optimally to get the maximum satisfaction or maximum benefit from it. Let's discuss what is personal financial management. Personal financial management is basically about the controlling the cash flow. Cash flow includes cash inflow as well as cash outflow. That means that from where we are going to get income and how those income will be used in getting the personal satisfaction. So we can say that personal finance is about meeting personal financial goals. It might be short term financial goals, it might be medium term financial goals, it might be long term financial goals, or it should be related to the our retirement, or it would be related to the children's education, children's manage, or children's career, or children's marriage, etc. This is a process of planning and managing personal financial activities such as income generation, spending, saving, investment, and protection in such a way that we should not fall ourselves in a debt burden, and the maximum satisfaction should be got by us as well as our families. Let's discuss about some key elements of personal finance. When we talk about the personal finance, then we have to think about a budget. That means that for personal financial management, we have to budget the things. We have to find out from where our money is going to come and where we are going to invest that money. Next element is insurance. What we are doing for our protection. For difficult days, how we are going to save our family, our life. For that, we have to take the insurance. So insurance is also included in the personal financial gamut. Next one is debt. How we are going to take loan, or how we are going to use debt while making use of personal financial management. It is also related to our salary, consumption, and savings. Then if we are having savings, then yes, we will have investment also. We have to also think about the where we are going to invest the money to get maximum return. In personal finance, we have to think about our retirement also. In personal finance, we have to think about our employment as well as the children's employment. We have also to think about tax obligation, how much we have to pay. It is not advisable to pay huge taxes, rather there are lots of options by which we can save the taxes. So these things should be included in the personal financial management. Next comes the home making and education of the children. Then comes marriage of the children or the marriage of the dependents. The list is so huge which could be included in the personal financial gamut. So few points are discussed here. Let's discuss about the financial life cycle of individual one. When we go through, then we find that we can divide the financial life cycle of a individual into three phases. First phase is young adult phase, which starts from 18 years and ends up to 30 years, in which an individual has to think about consumption, some savings, and he has to think about the careers. He has not huge burden on his shoulders to earn huge amounts, or he is free from lots of the liabilities which their parents or the elders are shouldering. Then he moves to the next phase, that is a family phase, that starts from 31st years to 60 years. In this, we can divide the family phase into three types, three categories: formation, development, and maturity. In this, an individual has not only to think about the consumption savings, but he has to think about the income also, from where he is going to get the income and how those incomes will be converted into investment. How much part of that income will be converted into investment. He has to think about homemaking. He has to pay the taxes. He or she has to make plan the retirement, etc. Then the third and last phase is retirement phase, which starts from 61 years and above. Up to this phase, a general assumption is that the individual is free from all the liabilities, as he is having a home, he is free from the children's liability. Now he has to think about some more asset creation for their own as well as for the family members. He has to take care of taxes, he has to take care of investment, etc. Now we move further and we talk about what are the major elements of personal finances. So in this, first, finance could be considered as a scarce resources. Finance is not abundant. That's why we have to plan our personal finance also. When we talk about the finance, then finance could be categorized into two parts. One is inflow finance, second one is outflow finance. When we talk about the inflow finance is considered as the income. This states that from where we are going to get our income. Income might come as a salary, as a wage, as a self business profit, as a fees, etc. Next one is consumption. As the individual is there and he is or she is having the family, there would be consumption. Because without consumption, the individual can't survive. Because consumption includes expenses on food, expenses on housing, expenses on medical, expenses on education, expenses on leisure items, etc. So when we talk about personal finance, then we have also look at the consumption part. The third important part is savings. It is not feasible to earn the income and consume the whole income and not leaving anything as a saving, because we have to have the saving for our difficult days. The next is investment. If an individual will have the savings, then he or she can think about the investment. There are lots of investment options. He can choose from there. An individual might be risk taker or risk aversive. If he is a risk taker, then he can invest in such projects where risk is higher. And simple phenomena is that higher risk gives you higher returns. And if an individual is risk aversive, then he can or she can invest his or her savings in those investment avenues where returns are less but money would be safe. Next is the protection. The life is full of threats. There is a danger of diseases, there is a danger of death, and lots of dangers are there. How we are going to protect ourselves as well as our family members, we have to think about this also. In the protection process, we can take life insurances, we can take health insurances, we can take house insurances, car insurances, motorbike insurances to safeguard our assets as well as our life. Next, we discuss what is the need of personal finance. Is this a thing which has to be given due care, or we are taking extra burden on ourselves? Actually, we are not taking any extra burden on ourselves, because this is the need of the hour to think about personal financial management because of the following points. First point is limited income. As we know that our income is limited and we have to make all the things happen in that limited income. So we have to think about how effectively we are going to use our limited income, which is the basic phenomena of personal financial management. Next is increasing consumption. Consumption is increasing day by day. We cannot stop the consumption. Our income is not increasing as the consumption is increasing. Inflation also plays a great role in the increasing consumption. So we have to make a plan for finance, how we are going to supplement our consumption with the limited income. Next one is savings. Savings are the critical part of any individual being, because he or she has to save for the difficult days. If he or she is not saving for the future, then he might be got into the clutches of debt burden or the clutches of money lenders, which will charge a huge rate of interest on the debt. Next is family security. For the family security reasons, personal financial management is also important. Personal financial management is related to the future benefits, because here we are not only thinking about the present consumption, we think about also the future savings. So personal financial management is also benefited in the future. For the investment, we have to take care of personal financial management, because by the use of personal financial management we will have saving, and that saving will be converted into investment. Investment not only increase our return but also helpful in the capital creation, which supports the economic growth of industries, of companies, as well as the countries. Next part is maintaining living standard. If you want to maintain the living standard, then we have to make the plan for the personal financial management. If you are not making a plan, then for maintaining living standard would be very difficult, and if we are going with the current situation, might be we will fall in the clutches of debt. Last one, acquiring valuable assets. We want to create valuable assets for ourselves as well as for our future generation. if we are trying to purchase a valuable asset which is not a small investment, this is a huge investment. To do this huge investment, we have to have a certain plan, we have to have certain financial management, how we are going to get money for acquiring, for purchasing these valuable assets. These are the few points which makes it necessary for an individual being to make the personal financial plans or to make a personal financial management. Moving ahead, we will discuss about utility of personal finance. What would be the benefit if an individual being is using personal financial management is his or her own life? Then he can very easily use the optimum level of income. Whatever he or she is having the income, that return or the utilization of that income would be at the optimum level. Next one is ready to fulfill current or financial needs. Everyone has needs. Some needs are related to the present situation and some needs are related to the future. And if we are having personal financial management, then very easily we will have amounts, we will have some financial resources in our hands to satisfy our current as well as future financial needs. Next, improving financial decision making. If we want to take a financial decision, then we have to have all the information in our hand. It means we have to information regarding the income, we have to have information regarding our consumption, we have to have information regarding our savings. Then only we can take the decision regarding the investment or other things. Thereby means that if we are having personal finance in our daily life, then it will improve our financial decision making. Next one is assessing risk capacity and making strategy. Yes, risk is very complicated phenomena, because when we divide the individuals on the basis of risk, then we find that there are two types of individual. One is risk taker, second one is risk aversive. By this we can very easily know that whether we are risk takers or we are risk aversive, and accordingly we will make our strategies for the investment and other things. Reducing tax liability. Everyone desires to reduce the tax liability by using the various ways and means. If we are using proper financial planning or proper financial management in our daily life, certainly this will reduce our tax burden. Safeguarding from unexpected losses. Unexpected losses come in such a way that we cannot predict that this loss is going to happen with us. Actually, that has happened and we have to safeguard ourselves. If we are having some personal financial management in our life, then very easily we can tackle the unexpected losses. Evaluation of investment performance is with the help of personal financial management. Very easily we can evaluate the investment performance which we have made in the form of shares or in the form of FDs or anything. Last but not the least is avoid debt. Debt is not a very good thing, because when we are taking the debt, we have to pay a huge amount of interest on those debts. So to avoid to pay maximum chunk of our income as an interest, we have to have a personal finance in our daily life, so that we could manage our life, we could manage our financial life in such a way that we had to not think about the debts. These are the few points of benefits which an individual person will have if they are following the personal financial management in their daily life. Moving ahead, we will discuss about few things which are misunderstood by the individuals regarding the personal finance. Some individuals think that this is a one time process. It means कि one time we have made a financial plan that is okay for the whole life. But this is a misconception. This is a continuous process. Every time we have to make the management of our finance to get maximum satisfaction. Second misunderstanding is reduced tax burden. This is very unfortunate that some of the individuals think that this is not for all, this is only for those who have to pay the taxes, and this is basically related to the reducing the taxes, but it is not true. Personal financial management is related to the maximum personal financial satisfaction. Third misunderstanding is costly affair. Some of us think about that personal financial management is a costly affair. Actually, it is not. If we are looking at the composition of the personal financial management, then we will find out this is not as costly as misconception is there. Next one is for long-term planning. Some of us think about personal financial management is for the long-term planning, but this is a misconception. Personal financial management could be done for the short term, could be done for the medium term, could be done from the long term. And one more misconception is that this is related to the higher income group. Actually, this is not only related to the higher income group, this is related to the all income groups, because we have to get the maximum personal satisfaction, or we have to satisfy our needs with our limited resources. So we cannot say that this is only related to the high income groups. So these are few misunderstandings regarding the personal financial management. Now I hope that few things or the basics of personal finance management is clear. What is personal financial management, why it should be done, what would be the benefits of personal financial management, what are some misunderstanding of personal financial management. With this I conclude my today lecture, and in next lectures we will discuss about personal financial planning. Thank you very much.